Welcome back to the channel, guys. Now today I'm going to be talking about F-mount lenses on a Z-mount camera. Now I've got a couple of primes. This one here is a 35mm F1.8 for the full frame Nikon system. Now I've chosen to go with some of the F-mount lenses primarily because they're a little bit cheaper, especially second-hand. There's so much more variety with the thousands of lenses out there for the Z-mount, for the F-mount system. Whereas the Z-mount system is still fairly new, so you don't really get many second-hand lenses on the market at the moment. Now I'm testing it out to see the image quality on it. Have seen some reviews on it, and they all look pretty good for especially this 35mm F1.8 version. Now brand new here in New Zealand, this lens retails for around about just over $1,000 brand new. So I purchased it for just under $600 second hand at one of our local camera shops here in Christchurch. Now the Z-mount version of this, the F1.8 35mm, it retails for around about $1,500–$1,600. Now I know there's probably a lot of people will say just go with a Z-mount. Yeah, sure. But when you're working on a budget, these second-hand F-mount versions are pretty good value. Now I got, for a 35mm f1.8 and a 50mm f1.8, I got for just a little over $800 New Zealand, second hand. Now they were in pretty good order. The camera store rated them like about 8 out of 10. So it's like fairly new condition. Now the same Z-mount lenses would have cost me $2,500 brand new, and you just don't see them on the second-hand market at the moment. People are just not selling them at the moment. So I thought, well, we'll test this out. It's a much cheaper option, and so I've got it on the FTZ adapter, or FTZ adapter, wherever you're from, however you pronounce it. Now mount it on my Nikon Z6. Now this ranges from f1.8 to f16. It's roughly 72mm long from the lens mount to the front element, and about 72mm across diagonally. Now the lens itself is 305 grams. FTZ or FTZ adapter adds 136 grams for a total of 476 grams in weight, and 105 millimeters in total from the lens mount to the front element. Now compare that to the Z-mount 35mm. The Z-mount 35mm is 370 grams in weight, so in total this is around about 80 odd grams heavier, and the Z-mount version is 86mm, so in total this is just a little bit longer, about 20mm longer. But in saying that, 476 grams is still not too much weight on the Z6. Now the F-mount version has 11 elements in 8 groups, 1 ED element and 1 aspherical element, and super integrated coatings, whatever super integrated coatings mean. It hasn't got Nikon's top nano coating on it, but it's still, I think it performs pretty well. So I shall put some sample images up on screen now from being out in the botanical gardens yesterday using this lens on my Z6, and you can see the image quality. Some of the images I've shot at the minimum focus distance, which is 25 centimeters. So that 25 centimeters is from the image sensor to your subject. So you're probably looking at about from the image sensor to about there. So you can get fairly close to a subject. So I'll put them up on screen now and you can have a look at the quality of this lens. So I hope you like those images I put up on screen just before. Now, there it is mounted on my Z6 camera. And as you can see, it's not too large compared to the 24-70. So there's the lens mounted on the camera body. And that's my 24-70 f4 lens. As you can see, when I put it side by side, they're roughly about the same size. If I turn that round to 35mm, and you see the Z mount version of the 24-70 at 35mm sticks out a little bit further. My conclusions on the F mount 35mm f1.8 lens on a Nikon Z mount camera. From what I can see on the computer, the images look nice and sharp, nice and contrasty. I didn't have a problem with focusing on any subjects. I didn't find it too weighty holding it with the FTZ adapter on it. It would be better without it, obviously, but when you're on a budget, it's a pretty good option. Now, the focusing ring moves very smoothly, although I do find that it just feels a little cheap. It feels like plastic on plastic, if you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like silky smooth like you're cutting through butter. It's more like, it almost feels a little dry, the mechanism, like there's no lubrication in there, but it doesn't stick at all. So, in focusing from near to far, it's fairly smooth and quiet. I haven't tested on with video at the moment, but that'll be a subject for another video. But I'm going to be testing out the 50mm on here as well. Also, in the next month or two, we'll be testing out these lenses on what's filming now, which is the Nikon Z50. So we're going to test it out on the crop sensor body as well and see what the image quality and performance is like on that camera as well. So we've also got a 50mm Nikon F1.8 for the F mount, and we have the Nikon 70-300 F 4.5 to 5.6 E. This is the AFP one for full frame cameras. Now we'll be testing these out on both the Z6 and the Z50. So if it's something that you're interested in, stay tuned, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you get notified when I post new videos. And thank you very much for watching. Post a comment down below as well. Got the ad. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.